is Al Newman back here at the Lakeville, Brunswick zone with the Upper Deck Report. And I will report this real quick right off the get. If you're looking to get in some kind of shape, go to UpperDeckReport.com, click on the Snap Fitness, and you too can have 30 days of working out for $8, $9, whatever it is. Just click on there and sign up. That's something they're one of our advertisers on the UpperDeckReport.com network. If you're thinking about working out, there's a great deal. $9 for 30 days. What's that come to? About 30 cents a day, more or less? That's a great deal. Minnesota Twins have had a tough time. We all know that. First of all, I want to thank you guys for coming again today. I couldn't have this show without you. It'd be very quiet out there. But we've been trugging along with this Upper Deck Report with the website and things like that. And it's been a lot of fun talking Twins baseball. And now this is one of the first years in quite a few years that the Twins aren't really in contention. We as Twins fans have been laboring all summer, waiting on our lineup to get back together. As I said earlier, 110, 112 different lineups Ron Gardenhire has had to use. And it was kind of funny. We had reunion weekend last week where they brought in all the former players on the 91 team. And we were talking, myself and Greg Gagne were talking to Ron Gardenhire in the middle of the field. And I'm not going to give up everything that he said, but one of the things he said was that he needed a middle of the field combination that he could believe in and trust. It's not right now working out with Nishioka. I had a friend the other day say to me, when's Casilla coming back? And I had to start laughing because Casilla's been the whipping boy the first half of the season. Gardenhire didn't know if he was going to do something good or do something bad, but yet now people are clamoring for Casilla to get back into the lineup as if he's a mainstay or he's a big stud in the middle of that lineup. But we all know that without Morneau and Maurer and Kadire and Kubo in the middle of that lineup, the Twins don't carry much punch whatsoever. Been a year just full of injuries. As I alluded to, Gardenhire's probably had 110 different lineups in 120 games, 125 games, whatever it is. It's a ridiculous number. And to be manager of the year in 2010 and then come back with the biggest payroll in Twins history and have the season go down the drain like it has been very tough. And I know injuries played a major role, but to me, I think that pitching and just the fact that, we let a guy like J.J. Hardy go because we didn't want to pay him as much, but yet then we get Nishikawa and give him a 3-year deal. Yes, it's for less money, but it's an unknown commodity. A guy that's come over from Japan and had a very tough time trying to hit over here in the United States. There hasn't been very many Japanese players that came over that could make the transition. Ichiro obviously has done it with 10 straight years of 200 and plus hits. But the other one, Matsui, is probably the closest to being, as they called him in Japan, Godzilla. He's been more like a bear over here. He's hibernated quite a bit. He's hit his home runs in a powerful lineup of the New York Yankees, but yet he was just a mere mortal in comparison to the stature that he had accomplished in Japan. Again, my name is Al Newman. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you guys for viewing the Upper Deck Report, and we're talking Twins baseball and what's in tail for the Minnesota Twins here in the near future. And we know that the Twins try to build their team through the draft. One of the reasons why the Twins don't acquire a whole bunch of free agents is because if you sign another team's players, you got to give up draft choices, and the Twins like to have draft choices. I'm getting ready to give you a number here that might blow you away. The Twins have only signed 24 of their 52 draft choices. That's not a big number, and it kind of concerns me because we always said, or the administration said, that if they got a new ballpark, they could go out and draft players and they could keep their own players. Well, we're about to see if that's going to come true this year. Yes, Morneau is taken care of through 2013. Maurer's signed through 2018. But yet you got guys like Kubo, Kadire, that are coming up this year for free agency, and we'll see what happens. On the other hand of this is the draft. When you've got more resources, you should be able to sign your draft choices. And are the Twins going to make the transition from always drafting the high school player that takes a longer time to get to the big leagues? Or are they going to take the chance and go get a college guy that's 21, 22, probably a couple of more years closer to the big leagues than that high school player? So the Twins are in a tough way right now. Financially, we're supposed to be in the best shape that we've been in for years, but yet they've only signed 24 of their 52 draft picks. And what I find very ironic about the draft is the fact that the Twins drafted 6 shortstops in this draft, 2 of them college players. And if Nishikawa was the guy that they thought he was going to be, as I just said, they signed him to a 3-year deal. So if you got college players, you're expecting them to be in the big leagues in 3 years. So something's got to give here at that position, I should say. And are the Twins going to change from drafting pitchers in the first 2 or 3 rounds and start going after position players? Again, I'm Al Newman here. I thank you guys for coming out. We're talking Twins baseball. We're talking the needs of the Minnesota Twins at this point in time. They're battling to stay out of last place against the Kansas City Royals, but they still have a shot. And we here in Minnesota live with eternal hope, but yet when it's time to make a move to help this club get over the hump, realistically, if we all really thought about it, we would have said that they weren't going to do anything, because that's just not the Twins' way. And we here in Minnesota seem to live with that. And we know that if we're going to get a player, it's not going to be a superstar player. It's going to be Carl Provano, who last year won 17 games, and we thought, whoa, we found a diamond in the rough. Well, this year, he's back to being the Carl Provano, a guy that can go out there and give you some innings, but he's not a guy that's supposed to carry your pitching staff. And we here in Minnesota think that he was going to carry this staff as well as Lariano and Mr. Baker, and none of them are really capable or have that ability. They're 500 pitchers, and that's not a knock. If you're a 500 pitcher in the big leagues, you're doing pretty good. You know, as long as you're pitching the 150 to 200 innings. Well, we're not quite getting there with these guys. They're 5 and dive type pitchers. 6 innings quality start, they're ready to tip their hat to the crowd, and that puts a lot of stress and strain on the bullpen, which if we all look back and say to ourselves and think about it, the bullpen has always been the key to the Minnesota Twins' success. Yes, the starters go 6 innings, and then you turn it over to Jesse Crane, Matt Guerrero, the left-handed specialist that was down in the bullpen, Dunsing, who it used to be last year. Now it's Perkins. Then you had Joe Nathan at the back of that bullpen to close it out. Those days are gone, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got a lot of pitchers that look to go 5 or 6 innings, and now the bullpen is not nearly as strong as it once was. This is Al Newman signing off here with the Upper Deck Report. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. We're going to sign off, and when we come back, we can start this all over again, can't we?